Hello and welcome to this new blog post where I want to focus on some specific issues that deal with automation, hyper-automation of business processes, and how to design this hyper-automation in a way so that we do not end up in a hyper-pollution. So let's get started. And I would like to start with an example of a company that bottles water here or any other thing that you like to drink. And the question, what happens if we are optimizing and accelerating this kind of process where water or some other things are bottled into plastic bottles or plastic cans or something. So if we use very smart technologies, digital twins, machine learning, automation of business processes, what happens if we accelerate and optimize this process? Well, what you see many times, probably in the media, is that we will have a bigger plastic problem. And if we accelerate things, then this problem might even get bigger, and end up on the beach, in the sea, in our food. And please don't take cola here as something that I would like to bash, but just as an example, and replace it with your favorite brand, or with something that you buy in a plastic wrapping. Can be a yogurt, can be something to drink, whatever you have. So now if we say, okay, plastic is not good and plastic bottles, then one might think, okay, let's replace them with glass bottles. Pretty easy. Because glass bottles, they can be reused. You can melt them again, make new bottles out of it. But what would actually happen? And well, one of the things that might happen is we might see more transports. And more transport means more CO2 emissions. So actually, that might not be the solution, because it might actually result in something that we do not want. And it might make things worse rather than better. So what other options do we have? And well, what you hear probably in the media very often, or in papers that you read, is, okay, let's use plastic bottles and recycle them. Well, that's something great, because this can reduce these problems, but it does not work in practice, because the percentage or fraction of recycled plastic is currently too low, and even in a couple of years, the targets that we set ourselves, they are not sufficient. And here I have found a report from institute that published the data here on GitHub. So if you want to see what they analyzed and how they collected the data, you can find this on GitHub. But you can see this from the graphics, and what you see is basically in gray bars. These are their targets for 2025, and the blue bars, these are they represent the status of what has been achieved in 2020. So this is already a bit old, the data, but that's what they had available. And what you can see is, okay, everybody is behind. Okay, so what can we do then? I mean, if you are working for an IT company, and if you're hired to automate business processes for such a company that deals with plastic things, or with other things that do not result in a sustainable environment or world, let's say. And of course, the first thing that you can do is bash the polluter. Make a protest, glue yourself to something, and say, hey, that's not good. Another thing that you often see is simply don't buy the product. And sometimes you hear, hey, simply reject the contract, don't do a work for this company. And the question that I have is, will these three activities, will this make things better or not? And well, you probably know the answer. It won't help. If you are making a protest and saying, hey, that's bad, it will probably not result in any change. Yeah? If you don't buy the product, there might be millions of others that still buy the product. Yeah? And if you reject, or if your company rejects the contract, maybe somebody else will do it. Yeah? So rather than getting into a conflict, try to reach out in a cooperation, and try to help maybe with something that is new, that is better, with some new innovations. And what I have in the following is just an example. There might be 1,000 other things related to plastic, related to other things that pollute our environment. So just take it as an example when it comes to bottling water. So what would happen if we outsource the bottling process? So bring it to the customer, maybe not like that, but more like that, so that you get your syrup, you get a water bottling device. What would happen if all people are doing that, and that big companies are not shipping water? Well, one of the things that would happen is we have reduced transports. Why? Because you can just take the water from your tap and then put the syrup in. Next thing is, of course, reduce plastic waste. You just need here these sachets, and if they make it smart, then you can refill them. So there's a bigger reduction in plastic. And of course, if you open a refill station for them, then you come to a circular economy. And from a producer perspective, you might not see a drop in revenue. Actually, you might see that business grows. Why? Because if you are the one who provides these devices that make this sparkling water or Pepsi or whatever you have, and if you make it smart, then you can get insights into consumption patterns and then find out, hey, what do customers like? What do I need to produce more? Or what kind of other flavors do I have to provide you? Also, you can get new opportunities, new ideas how to market new products. And when I say products, I mean these flavors here. And then, of course, I mean, if you're the company that provides also these devices that make the bubbling water, then maybe you can provide also a support and maintenance. And the buzzword that you often hear is predictive maintenance, because maybe something regularly needs replacements or maintenance. And finally, based on the usage, you can also charge the customer. They do not have to buy this, but you can rent it to them. So there are a lot of opportunities. And the good news is Dynamics 365 ships with all of these functionalities. And please don't use the term Dynamics 365. You can replace it with your IT or ERP system. I just use it as an example because I come from this background. And here are some of the icons that we have. So we have here insights, we have marketing, we have supply chain, we have field service, we have finance. All of these features are available in Dynamics 365 and other IT systems. And that can help you making a better world, a better planet, become more sustainable, just by switching things a bit. Then the question is, will this work everywhere? The answer is no. It might not work, especially in countries or regions where you cannot use tap water to drink. And then if you have to buy the water outside, then, this makes no sense. But what I want to say is, or what I want to give you is just an example how you might think a bit outside of the box to find ways how you can avoid a hyper pollution simply by hyper automating processes. And all of the people listening and watching this, you're smart enough to find other ways, other areas where you can make things better. So at the end, my ask to you is that you are not trying to become an IT wizard, just focusing on IT things and just ignore everything around you. What I want to ask you is to become an environmental conscious programmer, consultant, or partner for your customer. And this will really help avoiding to run into a hyper automation, hyper pollution trap. So that's all for today. I'm very interested in your opinion. Maybe you have other examples that we can all learn from. And I would be happy if you can send me a mail or put it in the comment section, just to make this world and this planet a more livable area for all and also for future generations. So thanks for listening and watching, and then looking forward to seeing you next time.